Had the bike for just about a week to 10 days. Just got to 100 miles on the bike already. And we can take it out for a run, and I can kind of tell you how the pedal assist works, for those of you not familiar with it. So a little customization. I did add a water bottle on there, all from Amazon. Got a ROCKBROS back saddle to put some minor stuff in. End up getting the Sena helmet, if you're into spending big bucks for helmets. Got a nice set of bike gloves. Also got some different side of ergonomic grips, along with the mirror, a must-have. Ended up buying a phone holder, again a must-have. Pretty much everything else is standard. The helmet's really nice because it does sync to your cell phone, and you can listen to FM, or you can listen to your music on your phone. One thing that did happen is the knob broke off on the preload button. Started spinning freely, so I put in warranty claim with that. Maybe they'll just send me a new knob or a fork. Right now I just have the forks locked out. Mostly do paved driving, so don't have to worry about off-roading yet, but it still works, just not adjustable at this point. I also did put a pretty much a generic fluffy seat on here. Nothing wrong with the stock seat, I just wanted a little more cushion. Alright, so I hope the wind isn't too bad here. So I just got over 100 miles of actual riding for the past week, and I'm really enjoying it. However, I wanted to give you kind of a specifications about the bike and what I've noticed on a flat terrain, on pavement type environment. I end up getting just about 47 miles of battery life from 100% down to 10%. And it was pretty much a mixture of pedal assist, mostly on 2 to 3 level. A couple of times I tried to max out the speed of 33 miles an hour, I believe I went on a flat surface. I did notice as the battery gets below 50% that your pedal assist may drop a mile per hour. So if your pedal assist, for example, is in 1 and you're doing 10 miles an hour and you're pretty much maxed out, after you get below 50%, it's going to drop to about 9 miles an hour. The full throttle, actually, all the way to 10%, stayed at 20 miles an hour. Actually, 21 miles an hour. So that thing is actually working well if you just want to go 20 miles an hour on the full throttle. But generally what I notice, and again, this is on warm temperatures, flat surface, very little hills, pedal assist, level 1 gets you about 11 miles an hour. What's nice about these bikes is that you can take a very casual ride and stay within that range of the pedal assist. It's when you start trying to go over that pedal assist. So if you're in pedal assist 1 and you're doing 10 miles an hour and you start pushing it, you'll get up maybe to 11 or 12, but that's where the exercise comes in. It's over the pedal assist and not using the pedal assist per se, even though you are moving. So I did in level 2 about 16 miles an hour on an average. When you get to level 3, that's basically your 21 mile an hour. And then level 4 is about 24 to 25. And then when you get to level 5 assist, you're at 28, but you can just put it in a low gear and probably hit 32, 33 without really breaking much of a sweat. So right now I'm heading down to a trail. I'm gonna do a little, just a little scenic tour for you. However, The other issue I ran into, and again, this is not really an issue, but I did have the preload button snap off on me. Ordered a new one. They did put in a warranty request. They responded back quickly when I sent an email. But the other issue is I went to charge last night from 10%, and the brick in the fast charger was very, very hot. I mean, it almost burnt my hands hot. I had to move it around on the table so the table doesn't get too warm in one spot. So I was just kind of wondering if anybody else had an issue with these chargers. The battery itself remained very, very cool, but the charger itself, the brick, got very, very warm very fast. I've had plenty of things to charge over time and never felt anything that warm quite where it hurt my hands, almost like burnt my skin type of temperature, probably 120 degrees plus. So if anybody has been through that, let me know. So I was going to get some shots of the going forward here on the bike path. However, the front camera is covered up by the phone holder. So I have been stopped on the trail a couple times. People asking me what kind of bike this is and my experience with it. And I think overall it's very good quality. If I have any issues, I generally go and look it up on YouTube. I was hearing some clicking noise in the front wheel, and that basically was assessed that the spokes, when they're new and they get broken in, they get loose and you have to tighten them up. So obviously get myself a tool do that, but you got to be real careful about that. Morning. So right now I'm in lockout spring mode there on my shock. I don't want to do anything to the shock if they have to replace it for the preload. I don't think the preload is really that significant in the settings because you only have a little bit over a 3-inch travel, and right now the only bumps I'm hitting is just the curvature of the drains and stuff on the intersection. So I did change out the seat to a softer feel with basically the hole in the middle there to leave some stress points. It is a kind of foam. I was going to go with something like the Cloud 9, but after reading all the reviews, it's kind of hit or miss whether it's comfortable. So I think I spent about $8 on this seat, thinking it was really going to be a piece of junk, but actually came out nice. When you first start riding bikes in general, your bottom really gets sore, and you have to get used to that. So there's a few people out here this morning who are just kind of casually riding. This is the first time I've taken this path, and luckily it's majority of it's shaded because it is July, August, and it's very warm. So right now it's just generally, I'm in pedal assist 2. I'm doing 15 miles an hour in 7th gear and virtually not putting any effort into it at all. So if I want to go faster than 15, 16, that's where the exercise really kicks in. But the helmet I'm wearing is a Sena helmet, and it does play FM radio, which is kind of nice. The tires seem to be holding up fairly well. Like I said, I usually keep it at 20 psi. When I went to check the tires after the first few runs, it went down to about 19, which is normal. Try to get air out that really danky smell of that air coming out of that tire. It sounds like dead fish. That's the air that was probably put in when the bike was assembled. It's very stale, so try to get a little fresh air in there. The grips that I upgraded to, I would say upgrade, they were $10 on Amazon. They let you rest your palm a little bit so you distribute the pressure out. They also came in almost like a darker red. I'm trying to do the bike theme in black and red kind of theme, even though it's got a yellow accent on the bike. And of course the little backpack under the seat there is red. It's kind of that darker red. Decided to go with that. What's nice about the company Aventon is, I guess you earn points for ordering the bike online and buying the bike and downloading the app and referring friends and all that stuff. So you earn points towards merchandise, and I'm hoping, and I think you have to wait 60 days after the bike purchase to have those points applied. So what I'm thinking is maybe I'll get the bike rack. But people are asking about how quiet the bike was. Honestly, when I have the radio going, I can't even hear the motor. It is very quiet. I don't think people even know it's an electric bike because they don't hear the motor. Right now I'm pedaling and it's on, and all I hear is that slight, motor. But once you're up to speed, the wind pretty much drowns out the motor. I don't hear it at all. The only thing I hear is when I stop pedaling, I hear the clicking of the cassette back there. But other than that, it is very quiet. I got a comment from somebody who watched my last video on the unboxing, and said that once it's broken in, it's actually going to perform a little bit better. I believe that. Motors, do tend to break in and get used to your riding style. The agility on this bike with the fat tire, I thought was going to be slow and, bumpy, but honestly, this bike handles around a turn kind of like you can whiz around turns like you're on one of those sport motorcycles. It's kind of funny when electric cars came out. There was a thing about people not liking them and doing everything from keying their cars and cutting them off in traffic. But I guess over time it got accepted. So I'm sure e-bikes in the biking world are accepted. Obviously by the amount of new companies that are out and the companies that are selling e-bikes and the growth of e-bikes. I think e-bikes is a great way for people to get out and get some exercise, but don't have to kill themselves on hills. I'll be honest, that little tunnel back there, you have to go up a hill, and it was very easy. Normally you'd have to worry about shifting gears and getting a good run and not worried about running into anybody on the other side of the lane, but this bike handled it just fine. I always forget I got the throttle here that I can just push myself up the hill as needed, but when you get in the mind frame of I'm out here for some exercise, that's what you want to do. But it's always there if you need it, which is great. Here's some tips for beginners and things I learned just in owning the bike for 1 week. When you're starting from a dead stop, make sure the pedal assist is in the 1 or even the 2 position on the bike. As you start to take off and pedal, the bike may run away from you, so just be careful with that. Always yield to cars and other bikes or pedestrians. Yes, I know most of the time we have the right of way and you can get into a contest with people out on the road there, but just be careful. And lastly, stay hydrated and have fun. That's what it's all about. The trip is done, and went approximately 11 miles. Used about 18% of the battery, but was using the throttle a little bit this morning. going up and down the bridges. Very consistent on the pedal assist. If you put it into second, pedal assist 2, you're approximately going to get 15.4 miles an hour. Very consistent on level. If you want to take it above that, that's where you're going to start feeling the burn. So, so far so good. Just completed 120 miles. So I'm going to find out if the customer service is as good as the bike. Just a couple of small issues that I had. Nothing really to worry about, but get out there and start riding. Talk to you later.